What's going on, guys? Hey, today we've got a fragrance from Nasomatto. Now, quick, brief story before we go to intro. I went out to LA to go see my boys and check out some independent niche perfumery. And I went to this place called the Scent Room. And this was my first introduction with Nasomatto. I smelled um, Bar- Baraonda, Baraonda, one of those. It's like a whiskey rose type of fragrance, and it absolutely captivated me. It was the only fragrance I purchased while I was there, and for like a 3 ml, I think I paid like $32. Just insanity, but I had to have it. It's awesome, and that review is coming soon. But yeah, we've got another fragrance from the house of Nasomatto. I think we've already done one or two so far, so I'm really impressed by the uniqueness of this house in comparison to fragrances from the rest of the market, from top to bottom. Bottle, story, fragrance. Strap up. Let's go for that ride.
Okay, doing it for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let this in into the room. You were on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Today, from the house of Nasomatto, courtesy of Scott from the channel, this is Black Afgano. And I have high hopes for this fragrance. I think we've covered Pardon. We will be covering Baronda soon. I know everybody's been pronouncing that weird. Some people say Aonda. Some people say Baronda. The whiskey rose fragrance, guys. This is Black Afgano, and I don't know what to expect. So when I don't know much about a fragrance, I dive right in. Let's get an initial impressions. This one's a unique one from what I remember. I think there's like a vinyl note or something strange like that. So we're going to go ahead and put it on skin, because with stuff like that, you want to really see what it transitions to on the dry down. In the air, smoky, woody, incensey, ambery. Okay? Like you almost get gusts of what feels like leather or gusts of incense smoke. Doesn't feel too Middle Eastern, but it does feel kind of ancient a bit, like a bit resinous. The amber is just warming everything up. It does feel woody and smoky. That's what I get off top. On the test strip, I get the same. It's surprisingly aromatic and fresh, but not fresh like a citrus fragrance. Just fresh in that those notes have an air to them. That's what I mean specifically. I know people mean different things with it, but that's the thing I immediately get. Like imagine Mahir Legacy Black, but half of the density. So it feels much lighter, much airier, but just as weighty of a scent profile, in that it's very incensey, very ambery, very smoky, very woody. And I'm hoping there's more behind that, because these fragrances are, not expensive, but they do cost a pretty penny. So we want to make sure these are worth your time and energy. I can tell you this is a challenging scent. Like this is for the cigar smoker, the top hat wearer, the leather bomb jacket kind of guy, maybe the country guy, the guy who has a bookshelf in his house for no apparent reason. He listens to vinyl for no apparent reason. He might own an old monocle. He's a watch collector. This type of individual, a loungy guy, a hookah-y guy, but a sophisticated man, a thinker. This is a thinker type of fragrance. This is not mass appealing. This is a challenging wear, very unique scents that you can't really identify with other than the smoke in the incense. Let's go ahead and switch screens here. I almost just played back out the intro. Okay, so let's go down. It got almost a 4.1 out of 5 out of 10,000 votes. Wow. So this really makes me wonder. Okay, so it's been around since 2009, so that's why it has a ton of votes. But still, even 10,000 votes is like a lot of people bought this. I don't hear about a lot of people owning this in the States. It must be like a European thing. Okay, so the price is around 100 to 200-ish. What's Joma going for on the low? Now, remind you guys, these are 30 mLs. So a tester of it for 120, but it retails around 200. Okay. Yeah, you know, that's a high price point for a 30 ml. You'd really have to knock my socks off to make me buy it. But yeah, it's not it's creeping into mass appeal territory, but a 4 is a strong rating on a fragrance like this. Let's see what it's got in it. Cannabis. Wow. It's such tiny cannabis. It's a real cannabis smell, but like 5% in the background. It's super tucked behind a lot of woods and incense. Green notes, Divana, saffron, thyme, resins, woody notes, tobacco, coffee, cinnamon, violet, raspberry, agarwood, incense, amber, animal notes, gaiac wood, tonka, musk, gurjan, balsam, cedar, ambroxan, and vanilla. I don't know how I feel. You guys tell me. I don't know how I personally feel when I go to Fragrantica and see 30 notes. Like, cause watch this. Let's see if it lets me click this. It does. Okay. So if you log in and you get an account, you can actually see what people voted on in terms of like, do you smell this note? So for instance, here with the violet, only 38 people agreed that they smell that in the fragrance. Almost nobody smelled the raspberry. So if you ever want to know like what primary notes come out of this fragrance, people are saying this is a mostly agarwood, incense, cannabis, resinous, woody tobacco experience. And so everything else, you can just consider it not really apparent in the fragrance. So this kind of upper left, I don't even really get the green in Divana, really. Ah, man, it smells so unique. I think for people who like this type of stuff, it has a lightness to it, you know? Let's come back out for a second. For people who like dark incense, vinyl, leather, animalics, resins, smoke, amber, tobacco, stuff like that, it's quite fresh, so it's massive. It's a mass appealing attempt at a very niche concept. And I don't mean mass appealing meaning it's trying to be sold to the masses. I mean for that niche group of people that like this stuff, most of them should love this, because it's inoffensive. It's not super daring for its category. Again, it really, 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 really reminds, like, I would almost call Mahir Legacy Black an 80% clone of this. It's close enough to warrant me just saying go buy Mahir Legacy Black and spray light. This smells exactly like Mahir Legacy Black Edition with a little bit more complexity and way heavier. So this is way lighter. This is like 1/3 of the potency of Mahir Legacy Black. But if you took black and hit yourself once or twice with it and you aerate, you could probably get a pretty close profile to this black Afgano. I'm shocked with this scent profile how many people have bought this. I think I get the scent. And by the way, you guys got to look at this. Check this out. Look at these bottles, right? Like it looks like it has like a toilet paper top here, a cork top, a chrome top, a wood top, a corkboard top. I mean, this is just freaking cool. And then like some slick leather, plastic, you know, like this is just gangster. Like it's so unnecessary, the massive top of the fragrance, but for the lack of juice you get, in my experience so far, these are extraits. So like 2 sprays is all you really need of something like these. So the 30 ml is going to it's going to last as long as about a 50 ml or a 60 ml. So that's one of the things you got going for you. And then they kind of compensate from it by giving you these dainty little art pieces of fragrance bottles, which I can really appreciate, because you can imagine if you had all these together, they would just look sick in your collection. You know, they look like niche bottles. Oh, man. So, okay, enough of the fluff. Let's go through the usual suspects. I've described the fragrance to you. This is not mass appealing. You have to love the notes that I described. Thankfully, there's an alternative that I just provided for you in Mahir Legacy Black. It's $20 Burlington. You can call it a day if you want to get into this vibe for the low. But it is very unique on the dry down. It has some things going on for it that are very interesting. I don't want to say good. It dries down very similar to the test strip, though I think the cannabis note goes from about a 5% to about a 10 or 15% on skin. I don't know why I said this smells like vinyl, but it almost has like a dark plastic interacting with an incense type of vibe. It's not the most woody fragrance ever. Like there's some other stuff going on. Maybe it's the green notes trying to lighten the leather incense smoke and woody part of this fragrance. In a mass appeal sense, I give this a 6. It's below average. For people who like this kind of stuff, I give it, because, you know, earlier I said for people that are into this type of stuff, most of them should like it, but I don't think they would love it. I think most people in the category would call it an 8, maybe a 9 at best, because it's a solo expressionary piece. Like you would wear this around your house or at a library or at a lounge or something very monocle and library book and cigar smoke whiskey type of event, you know? It's such a very like once in a lifetime type of occasion wearing experience that even if you liked it, you wouldn't wear it a lot. So I give it an 8. It's above average. It's a little bit complex. It definitely gets a 10 out of 10 in terms of being signature, but signature doesn't mean good always. Signature is just like there's wow factor in the scent profile. It's got some layers to it. It's unique, good performance, sillage. It's checking all those boxes, but that doesn't always mean that it smells good, right? It smells pretty good. The dry down is really nice. It gets away from that smoke and incense when it finally gets to the dry down portion. So I'm challenged to want to wear it on skin privately and maybe come back to a review on it. But right now I'm at a personal 6 with it. And I think people in this category at best would give it an 8. And I think that makes sense from Fragrantica's perspective, because even though a lot of people have bought it, the consensus is that it's a 4, which means that a lot of people like it. They're not madly in love with it. Performance on this is a cold weather fragrance, a nighttime cold weather fragrance, fall winter fragrance. Don't wear this in any kind of warmth, anything above 70. Fragrantica is saying that it has very strong sillage and it's very long lasting. So that's nice. Again, that's the only incentive to getting a 30 ml fragrance. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're into this stuff, you wait till you find it for a decent deal and you snatch it up. But out of the line so far, I find most people buying Pardon or Pardon and Baronda. The other ones are like going way off the deep end in terms of like only a very small group of people would get into the other ones. I think the Musk one or some, and even Black Afgano, I mean, clearly it sells 10,000 units sold, but you got to remember, it came out in 2009, right? So, you know, that's 17 years ago, 16, 17 years ago. So that's, it did well, but that's about all I can say for it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Again, you know, you have to get your nose on this before you buy it. Bottom line. You know, 2-3 sprays, I think will get you wherever you want to go. Women, stay away from this fragrance. Are they trying to call this? They're really trying to call this a men and women fragrance. It's only for men, ladies. I'm sorry. The only woman I could ever picture wearing this is Catwoman, like the actual superhero, you know, because she's wearing that black gloss, spandexy, shiny material cat suit. I could imagine that the material on the cat suit would smell like Black Afgano. You know, that's about it, ladies. So maybe Halloween night, If you're dressing up like a black cat or something like that, you throw some black Afgano on and you will turn some heads. But anyways, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on your notifications. I drop episodes every single day, so if you're into fragrance content, just click the video section. I cover it all. And also, I haven't really made this announcement, but guys, if you like the channel at all and you want to be able to navigate it well, go to the playlist section. I have everything sorted for you, kind of like a TV guide. So if you only want to binge watch reviews, there's all the reviews. If you want to only binge watch the Wheel of Fragrance game show, you can do that. The shorts, you can do that. My more cinematic content, you can do that. The concept videos, you know, I've got everything sorted for the type of content you might want to specifically go after. So definitely make use of that playlist section and give me your comments below on, you know, this is a unique fragrance to sort through. So hopefully I gave you guys a lot of valuable information about it. Even though it's not my cup of tea, it is a very unique fragrance that I think everybody should get their nose on. And I respect the artful way they approach this style, because in the incense and wood style, I think they've done something quite different. So that's worth evaluating. All right, guys, hope you guys have a blessed week. Again, this is from Nasomatto, and this was Black Afgano. I gave it a 6. I think people who are into it would give it an 8 at best. Tell me what you would give it. Take care.